So I've started going for runs at night. I think it's pretty fun. Nighttime is cool. It's dark. It's quiet. It's cold out. I like it. I don't know what it is about it, but I've grown to really, really enjoy it. And you know what I saw tonight? Something I've never seen before. A shooting star. And I was like, what the hell? I didn't think that even happened. Like, can that just happen? I don't know. I don't know that much about like comets and how they work, but I was like, whoa, that's fucking crazy. And then I realized, you know what this is? This is a sign from my fellow gods. That wasn't a shooting star. That was the first shot fired in a war, the first battle waged in a war on WEBTOON. And I realized I have to join my fellow gods and start fighting. And then I was like, what specifically do I want to talk about the most? And then I realized everything. I want to talk about everything, starting with today, the site itself. Now, here's the thing. Very few people have gotten an education on WEBTOON quite like I have. I have had so much information about the app and the website and how people use it shoved down my throat by literally thousands of comments. I never wanted to know, but I ended up knowing. So I thought that the percentage was probably like 99.7% of people use the app and like 0.3 use the site. That's not correct. Based on just my comments alone, it's actually closer to like 60-40, 60, the majority using the app, but a large percentage using this site. And so I realized a lot of people rely on this site for their content. And I came here the other day to research I think it actually was this series right here, Lore Olympus. And I was looking at it because it was one of the series people had told me to look at. And then I was looking at the site and realized, what the fuck? This site blows assholes. And yeah, I realize I'm being petty. But guess what, WEBTOON users? Suck my, looking around, dry erase marker, you hobos. I said that with a B, by the way. I'm not a bigot. I want to be petty. I want to dismantle literally every problem with this site because I can. So, I normally wouldn't have it situated like this. You can see the scroll bar there on the right, but I want you to see the website exactly how I am seeing it so you know that I'm not manipulating it in any way. The first thing I want to talk about is what the fuck is up with this dead space? Okay, I'm going to show you in editing just what all I can fit. I can fit whole videos right here. There's so much dead space. This is like actually probably half of the screen that I'm looking at is just dead space. And I think this is because this is like a horrible ported version of the app that is just not set for desktop browser resolutions. But how fucking hard is it to make like I can make a website and I don't know shit about fuck. How could you guys not do it with all the money you make? You couldn't hire one poor guy and pay him like, I don't know, $28 an hour for a month to build you a decent website? Okay, next up, continuing the petty train, we have, this is, like I said, I can't scroll. You can hear my scroll wheel? That's me going up. I can't go up anymore. This is the first thing that you see when you're greeted, is primarily this section, which, again, dead space. What is this, all of this dead space for? Why not format this banner better? But then you see right here, this rectangle, and I'll probably zoom in on it a little bit so that you can see what I'm talking about better. But why is it like this? This makes me upsetty spaghetti because it's very hard to tell how this is formatted. And it just bugs me because it reeks of we don't give a fuck and we hope that no one will catch on or we hope that no one will pay attention. But why is it formatted like this? What are these ordered by? They're not alphabetical. They're not based on the type of series, or the genre rather. They're not based on numbers. It goes 36 million, 10 million, 17 million, 12 million, 1 million, 6 million, and then 200,000, and then back to 1 and 1 million. And then the genres are all over the place. It goes romance, 3 fantasy in a row, then supernatural again, then 3 romance in a row. On top of that, why does this series right here is basically what we would, in like Hollywood, what you would assume is like top billing, right? It's taking up the most real estate out of any of these 9 series. This right here, what is it called? The Newlywed Diary of a Witch and a Dragon? I can barely read that, but we'll get into that. This basically, it's the most eye-catching, right? It has the most color. It's the largest. But why is that? It has 1 million hearts, likes, views, whatever that measurement is on WEBTOON, versus this up here has 36 million. So you would think that that would be top billing, but this is what they want you to pay attention to. Why is it down here and in the middle? If it was going to be in the middle, why wouldn't it be centered? We're getting petty, and it's going to get worse. Or I shouldn't say worse. I should say more petty. So in these first 4 series right here, there's not a whole lot of problems, right? I think the kerning is off in some of them, and the spacing looks, it's okay. The kerning in this looks really bad to me, but that's fine. If you look at the bottom here, though, romance, totally fine. You can read it. Fantasy, totally fine. You can read it. Fantasy. Oh, right here above my cursor, why is it like that? Why on earth? It's so hard to read. Look down here, romance. It's so hard to read. Why would you make it like this? Why wouldn't you have a tag that goes up here where you can guarantee that it's, why wouldn't you have color-coded borders? Because these are clearly color-coded, right? Why wouldn't you have color-coded borders to go around them? Why not that? That took me literally 1 second to think of. And just so you know that it's not exclusive to just this section. If you scroll down, literally the very next one right here, heartwarming. Like what? I know it says heartwarming because I'm familiar with the turn of phrase of heartwarming. Like I've heard that before. But why is it positioned like that? And if you're gonna have it over images like that, you need to have a drop shadow on it or add a stroke to it, something. And finally, the last petty little dig that I want to sort of put in is, I didn't know this, right? I don't know fuck all about WEBTOON's actual site, or I didn't, I should say, before I went looking. If you go to popular, right there, you can see I just clicked on it, and it says popular by genre. That you would expect. Action, fantasy. It's weird that action/fantasy are together like that, I guess. Romance and drama, again, it's a little weird because those aren't necessarily like always in I don't know. Anyways, that's not what I'm here for. What I saw by age group is just another super weird, like, why call it tens? I realize what they're saying, but why say that? It's so weird. Why even, as a business that promotes very sexual content sometimes, why even include the suggestion that 10-year-olds would be using this service? And then you can see here, it actually seems to follow the rule that I said earlier about top billing. These are the top performing webtoons on the site, and so they're big. They're much larger than all the other ones, and they're given a bigger, more eye-catching picture. That makes sense. This is how it should be, except for if we scroll down, look at this page, right? Look at what we're looking at. This is like 90% just a white screen. On top of that, it's not evenly spaced. So I don't know if that's bugging you guys, but the fact that it's so shifted to the left, I don't really like. But why is it white? Why is it just white? At least make it like the WEBTOON green color, something a little more visually eye-grabbing, eye-catching, a little more tasty to look at. And the reason I think this is noteworthy to bring up is because if I'm going to war with WEBTOON once and for all, and I'm officially going to be firing off salvos, if you will, I might as well attack literally everything I think is wrong about the service. And so the site itself, like, why is it like this? I don't understand. This is so easy to rectify, and it just speaks to the problem of WEBTOON. The problem of WEBTOON is there's no fucking care given at all. They will literally publish and push shit like Unordinary, and they'll be like, yes, please read this, even though it is the lowest of the... It's trash. I was writing better stories than Unordinary when I was in 3rd grade, and that is objectively true, by the way. So, what is wrong with this site? Like, it's so bad, and it pisses me off because I've made like 2 websites in my whole life. I don't, like I said, don't know fuck about shit. And yet I could make a much, much better site than this. So why can't they? It's because they don't care about anything and they want to put in as little effort as possible while reaping big money rewards. And so even though a whole site redesign would take what? I don't know, at most, if you wanted a cool baller site, like $100,000, probably, maybe $1 million, which is, who gives a shit about that amount of money? No one. So, like, this speaks to a level of incompetence and just, I'm going to use a word I don't normally like to use, and that's disrespect. And I don't think that people who use Webtoons are human. So, I mean, the thing about Webtoon is there's 2 types of people who use Webtoon, and you need to avoid them both like the plague. But that being said, it makes me mad that they're not mad at what they're getting. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't know if this is a type of video that can be enjoyed, but if you did enjoy it, I'm really happy for you. This video's featured comment is from none other than Gaming King, who on my last video about House Husband commented, "Your content is awesome. Keep up the great work." Thank you very much, Gaming King. And if you want a chance to be the featured comment at the end of the next video, I mean, all you got to do is just leave a comment. It doesn't even have to be a positive one. I just picked a positive one this time. Next time I probably won't.